Hello, it's IELTS with me tutorial, and today I'm going to show you to learn more about the topic about children and families. And as and at the result of this lesson, you will be able to use these vocabularies in your IELTS speaking as well as writing task 2. And then to be able to get a band 9 score. Okay, let's go on. Topic 3, which is about children and families, and this topic actually includes about child psychology and development, child care, family structures and roles such as nuclear or extended families, ways of bringing up children, preschool learning, adolescent, teenager family members, family discipline, parental roles, and elderly family members. Okay, let's go on. Our first vocabulary is foster parents, means people who have children living in their existing family for a fixed period of time with the original parents' agreement, okay? Being a foster parent is a difficult and tiring role, I can imagine, because it requires a lot more responsibilities. Guardians means that people who are legally appointed to protect a child's interest in the absence of parents. For example, in some countries, the government appoints a guardian if the parents die or experience severe difficulties, for example, severe abusive behaviors. Role models, people that children look to and respect as a good example, such as football players, actors, singers, and so on. In some countries, the royal family are good role models for youngsters, for adolescents, for teenagers, although in other cases this is not the case. Another vocabulary is ground rules, basic rules governing the way people can behave in a situation. For example, during the school holidays, my parents had strict ground rules for what we could do outside. It's important. Had strict ground rules, okay, to do what we can do or what we cannot do. Conventions is another vocabulary, meaning traditions or social norms that most people follow, okay? It's a convention, remember this phrase, it's a convention for blah blah blah. It's a convention for grandparents to live with their children in many countries, especially in developing countries, okay? Codes of conduct, meaning voluntary rules which people accept in a situation. For example, the Boy Scouts have a firm code of conduct which seems to be a positive influence. Another vocabulary which is pretty common, unfortunately, is bullying, when children attacked and intimidate other children, when actually scare other children or frighten other children, okay? For example, bullying could be reduced through better awareness and positive peer pressure in school. Try to use these vocabulary, these phrases in your speaking part, okay? Bullying could be reduced through better awareness and positive peer pressure in schools. Truancy means when a people leaves school without permission, The verb form is to play truant from a school. For example, I must confess that at secondary school, I sometimes played truant and went to the park with my friends. Delinquency, meaning minor crimes, often by young people. Our example is delinquency is a huge problem in urban areas, especially when policing is minimal, okay? Abduction means the crime of taking or kidnapping people for a criminal reason, which is pretty common in in urban areas and developing countries. Unfortunately, child abduction is the great concern for many parents, especially in South America, for example, in Mexico. Peer pressure meaning the pressure from people in the same group to act in a certain way. Sometimes it can be negative, sometimes it can be positive. Many children start smoking, unfortunately, due to peer pressure or bad role models, okay? The next vocabulary is dual income, a family where both the father and mother work and both of them have salary, right? In many countries, the dual income family is the norm nowadays, okay? Breadwinner, a person who earns all or most of the money in a family. In some families, the father is still the only breadwinner. Child minding, meaning caring informally, not in schools, for children when parents are busy or working. For example, in some countries, the state subsidizes the cost of child minding, okay? After it's a positive action by the state, really. After school childcare, caring for children in a school setting, as above, as we talked here. Many families depend on after school childcare because both parents work and commute, both parents are breadwinner, both parents are dual income. Viable, practical, and possible to achieve. For example, it's not really viable to expect all children to get maximum grades in exam. Peers, people in the same group or level as yourself. For example, many of my peers from school are now working for charities, bonding the development of close emotional connections between people. For example, festivals, great, and parties are in ideal time for families to bond. Patterns of behavior is another vocabulary, ways of acting and doing things, either positive or negative. Unfortunately, some children observe dangerous, pay attention to spelling that, observe dangerous patterns of behavior when watching movies or playing computer games, right? Well brought up, to bring up children, okay, to raise and educate them in your own moral, behavioral, or religious conventions, your religious traditions. For example, I was brought up in a very religious family, and I seem to have observed their values. Not seem, actually, it's definitely to have observed their values. Okay, now we have a question. It's about writing task 2 question. Our question is: some people believe that children should spend all of their free time with their families. all of, pay attention to this. Others believe that this is unnecessary or even negative. Discuss the possible arguments on both sides and say which side you personally support. We see that this is an opinion or discussion type essay. Pay attention to the use of all here. We said this is discussion type essay. First, we have to introduce topic, present 2 or 3 ideas about each side of the discussion part, and then give our opinion in the conclusion, okay? Instead of saying discuss, the question might be present with a debate, consider, and review. Okay, pay attention to them. This is a Band 9 model essay, and let's focus on it in more detail. Nobody can deny that parental influence, a good vocabulary, is important, essential, necessary for children, at least in cases where children live with their parents, foster parents, or guardians. However, it's by no means it's definitely clear that children should spend time exclusively in the family, as we will see. On the one hand, it may appear advisable. Pay attention to the use of impersonal style for parents to act as role models and to establish ground rules for behavior by spending as much time as possible with their children. This allows the youngsters to observe conventions and codes of conduct, which they can then follow themselves, hopefully leading to result in an absence of problems and absence of serious issues such as bullying, truancy, and delinquency later on. Furthermore, additionally, being with the family should reduce the risk of children falling victim to crimes such as abduction or coming under the influence of negative peer pressure. Very good vocabulary, okay? On the other hand, or conversely, we can say, we have to ask whether this is a practical proposition in a society where many families are dual income, or where one parent's role as breadwinner means he or she is away from the family for long periods of time. It is inevitable that children cannot spend all of their time with the family. Child minding and after school childcare are often used in these cases, and if managed properly, this can be perfectly viable alternatives. Equally, it seems that it is logical that it's appear that impersonal style, children can in some cases learn a considerable amount from their peers, learn a significant amount from their peers in addition to adults, and allowing them to play without direct supervision may be a benefit. To conclude, to recapitulate, all in all, to sum up, it seems that it is logical that while family time is essential for bonding and observing patterns of behavior, there are definite advantages when children are outside the family too. This is provided that, okay, here is a conditional. They are in a safe, behaved environment with peers who are themselves reasonably well brought up. Thank you so much. Please follow us for more videos, subscribe our channel, and turn on notification, then you'll be alerted to future videos. Take care and bye.